Welcome everyone back to North to Prem. Last time we did unfortunately just get knocked out of the playoffs to Buxton in a massive game. If you didn't see it, I'd definitely recommend go watch back that episode. We did beat South Shields in the first game of the playoffs, but then lost away to Buxton in extra time. Really disappointing. But in this episode, we will obviously do a bit of an end of season wrap up and a transfer special going into the next season. So I think a little bit of a wrap up. Let's take a look at what we've got for next season. So in terms of players we've got contracted for next season, this is pretty much it. We have a massive rebuild on our hands in terms of the back line. We do have Knight coming in, who'll probably fill in one of these midfielder spots. So I guess we don't have him in amongst the squad, so we can't put him in. But everyone else, all of the loans are obviously going to go back to their parent club, and all the rest of the players are out of contract. We probably will offer a contract to Ben Wyatt. He's on £325 a week. I think he's been okay. If we're going to stay in this league, I think he'll be good enough to keep. So we'll try and get him down. He wants to be an important player. We'll make him a starter. He does want a big pay increase, though, and I don't really think he deserves it. We'll see if he'll take a little bit less. 350, 75. Honestly, I don't want to offer him any more than 375. Come on. Okay, there we go. 375. It looks like we'll be retaining Ben Wyatt, so we'll put him in at left back. But other than that, we still have a lot of work to do. Connor Johnson's another one. He's out of contract. I'd love to keep him, but he's on so much money, and it looks really unlikely that we'll be able to keep him. So I did it off camera, not expecting him to actually agree to a new deal, but he has agreed to a new deal, and he's actually taken quite the pay cut as well. So as much as Ben Wyatt asked for more money, Connor Johnson's actually took a bit of a pay cut, weirdly enough. He's going to sign on as a new deal on £525 a week, £125 cheaper than his previous deal. So really happy with that. So that actually gives us a little bit of comfort knowing we do have less positions that we need to fill. So realistically, the main two positions we need are another centre back, a right back, and a goalkeeper. A few of the loans probably are out of contract at the end of their parent club, so we might try and go in for a couple of these. I think Craven is actually on loan, on contracted to the next season. They do want him to be tested in a new environment, so we won't be able to bring him back. What about Hui? He's out of contract. He would be a great one to bring in. Giscombe hasn't been too great, but he is out of contract. I mean, if we could get him in, that would be good. Shalner is another one out of contract. He's not actually on a big wage at Peterborough, so that would be another one we could bring in potentially. Ashton Fox is another one at Peterborough out of contract, and he's not on a massive wage. So there is a number of these loans we could look to bring in. Obviously, sometimes these contracts do get renewed pretty late into the season, so not all of these might be available. I think any of these, if they become available, we'll try and bring them in. So we have got our budget for next year, and it's pretty much exactly what we have now. It was £7,500 a week on the wages. We're currently spending 5.8, but we do need to probably make a few more signings on that. A transfer budget of £0 is expected, but pretty much the same as what we had last year. I think we can work with that, and I definitely think we can get a title challenge mounted. Like I say, I mean, the majority of the squad is pretty much set for next season. I don't think we have to change this front four at all, really. I think very much it's depth, and we'll just see what's available. Very much we do need to bring in some players in the back line, like I mentioned, and definitely a goalkeeper as well. But Joe Knight will be joining us. We'll convert him to a deep line playmaker. I think the rest of the team, I mean, maybe a better attacking midfielder, but McCammon did do very well this year. I mean, the goals have been definitely shared across these sort of attacking players. Chukwuemeka was 27. We've got him for next year. Dan Mooney's going to get a full season. Cameron got 17. Hines is going to get a full season. Felix got 15. So I'm very much happy with the goals scored. And I think if you look at the league table, our goal difference was actually really solid. 49. We actually had the best goal difference in the league by quite some way. So realistically, I mean, there's no real reason to want to change the attackers. Obviously, if a really good young player comes available, or a really good player in general comes available who doesn't want too much money, then we'll probably bring them in. But I think we could be happy with what we've got. We've got a good dynamic going, and I think a full season probably with this lot will look really solid, and I definitely think we should be going for a title challenge next year. So we do have some end of season wrap up bits. So we have got some more fans. We've got 29 new social media followers, 80 season ticket supporters. So next season the board is very much looking for us to get in the playoffs once again, which I think is very much in amongst our aims. I want to try and win the league, but if we could get in the playoffs again, I think that would be another good target. The board basically just think with the squad we have, we should be finishing in the playoffs every year, which I agree with. They do have some other stuff, but they want us to grow the club's reputation, but they're not too bothered on it, and they really want us to work within the wage budget, which we are currently doing. So we will accept all of that. That all looks good, and we'll tell the boys pretty much what the board have told us because that's how you play the game. We won't be promoted as champions. Top half. Where's the playoffs? Season is finished now. I think we can make the playoffs. Yes, there we go. Say anything but what the board says and they won't like it. I have nothing else. So just tell them exactly what the board told you and they'll be happy. That is how to play the game because the game is not that different. Team of the year. Sorry, that's team of the week. I thought these had got into the team of the year. They haven't. But very much close to the transfer window opening where Knight will join us and we'll have another part of the puzzle going into next season done. As two of our players get into the April of the month, Chukwuemeka has very much came into form. I mean, he's got a massive valuation. If someone did come in for us, I mean, he's a National League player. If someone did come in with that kind of money, would have to look at it because obviously club finances are something we do need to be a little bit worried about because we are fortunately not promoted. But we'll come back when we get some more information, probably hopefully start to look at bringing some players in and try and rebuild or build the team for the next season. So we do have confirmation of both Connor Johnson and Ben Wyatt signing new deals to the end of next season. So that's two more positions wrapped up, left back and centre back. Ben Wyatt on a little bit of a pay increase, but Connor Johnson very much on a pay decrease. So that kind of cancels each other out. I think we actually ended up financially a little bit better off. So we do have £1,600 to spend. We've got some players who are leaving at the end of the year. And we do obviously have some loans where we're paying a bit of money. That will be leaving as well. So the wages will get freed up very much for us to bring new players in. We do have our end of season review, so we'll just go through this. Josh Hines actually got player of this sign of the season. I'm not sure about that one. I definitely think it should have been Caleb Chukwuemeka or Dan Mooney, but nevertheless, we did obviously sign Hines ourselves. But a lot of these signings are our signings. We did bring in Dan Mooney, we did bring in Hines, we did bring in Ibrahim. So I think we are making some good signings. Obviously, we did really well to get up to fifth. We took over when, I mean, look at the start of the season form, absolutely shocking. Massive turnaround under us, some huge wins, 7-2 over Kings Lynn, 7-0 over Hereford, 5-1 over Buxton. Unfortunately, we couldn't repeat that in the playoffs, but it is what it is. We did get up to fifth, and I think given a full season, we probably would have been in for a league challenge. So I think we can improve on that next season. FA Cup, we'll definitely want to try and get into it properly. We only got knocked out in the fourth qualifying round. Not really too interested in the Mickey Mouse FA Trophy anyway. But our biggest win of the season was a 7-0 win against Hereford at home, who did get relegated. The match to remember was actually a 2-1 win over Buxton, weirdly enough, and goal of the season actually went to Ibrahim in that National League playoff, National League North playoff semi-final, which was fully deserved. Financially, everything's gone up because we don't have any record from last season. We've got a little bit of money coming in from sponsorship. Team of the season looks like this. Pretty much what you'd expect. You'd maybe think that Shalna should have gone in over Hugh Alban Jones, but other than that, I think the back line and yeah, pretty much what we've been playing all season. Robertson actually getting in over Craven's interesting. He did play a lot of games for us, to be fair. And here are the awards. We did get Man of the Month for November, which is really cool. Fans Player of the Season was Alechi Hui. Young Player of the Season, not sure about that, at 24-year-olds was Dan Mooney. Sign of the Season, Josh Hines. Goal of the Season, Ibrahim. Chukwuemeka, top goal scorer, Ahui with 19 assists. I didn't even know he'd got that many, but it does make sense. And a few other awards for him as well. We broke some records, but again, most of this doesn't really matter because it is just the first season. But overall, I think we've got to be happy with how we've done. And yeah, we do obviously get a little bit of money coming in through sponsorship, just 19 grand. So nothing too crazy. So we will progress. Buxton did actually win the National League playoff as well, so at least we can know that we were knocked out by the team that won in a 1-0 victory there. I think it was that Italian dude again. Well, I don't think he even is Italian, but his name sounds Italian. No, he is actually Italian. He's 28 as well. For some reason I thought he was young. He's always played in England though, weirdly enough, even though he is Italian. But thankfully we won't have to deal with him next season because he is going up to bigger and better things in the National League with Buxton. So yeah, we very much have a big summer ahead of us. We still have a lot of positions to tie down. Joe Knight did get his contract, did confirm his transfer. So he's in on a free from Brighton, the 18-year-old youngster, already shown as a good National League player. And we're going to play him as a deep line playmaker, I think. 13 passing, 11 technique, 14 acceleration at this level is going to be very, very good. So just a little bit of a check-in as we are getting through June. Obviously, free transfer day is 30th of June, which is when the majority of players will be out of contract. A couple have already left us. As you can see, Matt Tootle has went to Kings Langley with his contract soon to expire. But we have brought a couple of players in. Obviously, we got Joe Knight in before. So Jordan Cropper joins us. He is a 24-year-old right back on a one-year deal for £450 a week. He's previously of Barnet, Grimsby, Chesterfield, very in and amongst the National League. So he has taken the step down after not playing very much football at all. Only 2 games for Barnet in the National League. Not really getting a chance, but he is a good player for this level. He's got some decent pace. He can tackle, he can cross, he can pass. I think he'll be a very decent right back. He can also fill in at striker as well. So there you go. But this is a great signing. We've got Brandon Horton in on a free transfer, £575 a week. So we have paid a little bit more for him, but he is someone shown as a good National League quality player. He comes in on a free from Chesterfield, who probably, did very well in the National League. Actually won the National League just like they did in real life. So maybe he just couldn't get into a team that's good enough to win the National League. For me, he looks like a very good signing, 1-year deal. And we do also have Ashton Fox, who is joining us permanently upon the expiry of his contract. So obviously, he spent the year on loan to us. I think he partnered up with Connor Johnson very well, so he'll keep his place for the time being. He did sign a deal. I think it was, I can't remember what we signed him for. I think it's around £300 a week, so he'll be joining us. And we do also have, that is not someone I've made, that's the, what do we offer? £500 a week. Did I really? Well, Ashton Fox is joining for £500 a week. We've gone a little bit cheaper on the goalkeeper. Okay, that's not right. I definitely offered £100 a week, so I don't know where these numbers are coming from. Jacob Cowler is on £500 a week, but we definitely offered 100. So maybe I haven't offered Ashton Fox that. Sorry. But Cowler's on getting £100 a week, so his signing will also be confirmed 1st of July when his contract at Luton expires. Nothing else really. Obviously, a number of players will be leaving the club. A couple of these other loans we did try to go in for, but they just want ridiculous money. Like Ben Challoner wanted like £1,000 a week, and he wouldn't even be first choice. So it's not going to happen. We are getting very close to our spend, though. We are committed spend is 7,300, so we don't really have any money to work with. So it would very much be a case of once players leave, trying to get free loans in, because we really don't have a lot to work with. So we have reached the season tick over day. We have reached pretty much the new contract expiry time. So obviously a few of our loans have left us. We've also lost a few players. Michael Gash, who I think didn't even make one appearance for us. Sure. He's left us, our joint player / assistant manager. So he's left quite the wage as well, so I'm glad he's gone. Cuba Mayers also left. He played a couple games, but wasn't anything special. Sydney Pereira was out on loan all year, barely played for Kieran Kester, so he's left as well. And yeah, everyone else obviously is pretty much everyone is out of contract at the end of next season. We will have to obviously come back to that later in the season because at this level, everyone is. I'm not sure why these two haven't left yet. Craven and Kiscom are still here. They are soon to leave as well. In terms of incomings, there isn't really anything. We're trying to offer loan trials to some of those released players. We won't be able to get Craven back because of weird football manager thing where you just can't sign players who you've had before, which is a little bit annoying. You can't sign loans that you've had again. That comes up with some sort of they want to try them in a different environment. We do have a goalkeeper coming in, and we do have obviously Fox coming in at centre back. So I think very much our team is done, which is really good to get that done early. Of course, if any good youngsters come up released from sort of Premier League Championship clubs, we will go in for them. I think if we were looking for positions, maybe a ball winning midfielder and an attacking mid would be good. Even a really good winger would be good as well. Basically any position, I think if we could still improve it. I mean, a better right back would be good, but we are paying a fair bit of money. We do have 1,000 now that all the sort of deals have gone through, all the contracts have left, and some of the deals that I think the director of football had in place, like this one for example, have come through. We do have a little bit of money to work with, so we can bring in some youngsters on cheap deals if possible. So we do have confirmation of our 2 new signings. I knew I hadn't offered Ashton Fox £500 a week, £375 a week to get the man in. Obviously, he was in on loan from Peterborough last year, so he joins Peterborough Sports. So he'll go straight into the starting lineup partner with Johnson. Cowler comes in for Robertson. And we've got our goalkeeper. He's on £100 a week, previously of Luton. Not played a professional game, so obviously we'll look to get him plenty of games. He is leading National League. And looking at the squad now, I think we've got a very, very good squad. Ahui and Chalner are both in on trial. We have offered both of them contracts, and they have severely lowered their wage demands. Hayes Green still wanted an absolute boatload. We're looking at bringing in some trialists as well, but we've managed to offer couple of cheap deals. £50 a week only for Chalner, £300 a week for Hui. Given that he got 18 assists last year, I mean, those would be two terrific signings to bring in. Other than that, I think we're pretty happy with the squad. And like I say, we've got a lot of youngsters coming in on trial. We'll take a look at them, see who's good, see who doesn't want too much money. A lot of them are coming from Premier League academies, so they might be wanting a lot, but we'll just kind of see. We do have our fixture. We will have our first game of the season will be away to Leamington, so they've just been promoted from the non-playable leagues. And so have Guiseley. Those are the two teams that have come into our league. I don't think anyone else has come in. You can basically tell me. Oh, Merthyr as well. They've come in as well from the north. So three new teams in there. The three go down in National League North. I thought it was just two. The four go down. Or someone else must have come up. Who is it? Gainsborough. Gainsborough have come up. So four new teams there for us this season. In terms of relegation, I'm trying to pick out who must have got relegated from National League. It's not standing out to me. Someone must have came down. Oxford City. I don't know how on earth they're in National League North. Hitchin are here as well. So we've actually got five teams. I don't know how five teams have. Am I miscounting this? We've got Hitchin, Gainsborough, Guiseley, Merthyr, and Leamington. That's five new teams. What's happened? Maybe because it's it's probably because it's National League North, so some of them must have gone into South, and we've just got five of the eight new promoted ones. So I mean, that's kind of a blessing, though, isn't it? If we've got five of the new eight promoted. I mean, looking at the season preview, Leamington actually have a really good squad because they are. I mean, how are they up there? Look at their squad. There's no one there. There is absolutely no one there. I don't know how they've got a squad up there, but as you would expect, the teams of Scunthorpe, South Shields, and Chester are up there. But we are up in six, which is much better than where we were before. So I definitely think we can go for a title challenge this year. We have made another signing. 17-year-old centre-back Kobe Small joins us on a free transfer from Arsenal. His contract was out. We offered him a £275 a week deal until the end of the season. At just 17 years old, 6'2", looks really good. Already shown as a National League quality player. So he's going to go straight into that starting 11 to partner up with Connor Johnson. Probably better off the ball playing role, but he is actually our best ball playing centre back. So I think given the fact that he's got 10 passing for National League North, that's a decent number there. We have got a couple, we have went through quite a number of trials and contract offers. A lot of good players come through, but a lot of them wanted a lot of money. We are very much over wage budget now, so any deals we can do, like this one that's been offered to Tom Tweedy, it's got to be a very small amount of money. He is currently under offer from Mansfield and Wrexham, so I wouldn't expect him to come in, but he looks a real player. He would have been a great signing from Burnley, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the one to come off. We have been going through pre-season. This has been set up by the assistant manager, and it's been going quite well. Obviously, we've had some very big wins over some very poor teams, and then a 4-1 loss to Peterborough. But that did make us a little bit of money there. From that was the gate receipts from that game, just 33k. So not bad at all. We've got a home fixture against Halifax and then away against a smaller team as well before the start of the season. But honestly, squad-wise, I think it's going well. I think probably have something like this once I've sorted it all out. Ibrahim Shalna. We'll play Ibrahim. Ibrahim or Shalna. That's yeah. Shalna's a bit more of a defensive mid. Lines on the right, Chukwuemeka up top. I think that's the 11. I think that's how we'll be playing. So Cowler in goal, Ahui, Small, Johnson, Orton, Chalner and Knight in the middle, Hines, McCammon, and Moon, Chukwuemeka. I think that's a nice squad to have. And then these seven on the bench. Probably throw Felix on for Robertson and have these two as off the bench and now, but I think that's a very good squad. We are currently over budget. We are spending all of our budget. We are just a little bit over by £20. No offers have come in for any of our players. If you just look, obviously everyone is only contracted till the end of the season. That might be why. We'll probably look to start to renew contracts around October, November-ish. That's usually when I start to look at the the contracts on offer. But I mean, we have a very odd wage structure. We've got some players who are quite good players. Someone like Cowler, decent player on £100 a week. Then we've got some players who are only kind of okay, like Connor Johnson, who's on £525 a week. So it is a little bit up and down, but I guess we've made up for it. We've got some really key players in on big money like Joe Knight, Brendan Horton, but then we've kind of saved money on some decent players like Shalner, who's on £50 a week. Crazy. But I think, yeah, I mean, Hines again, a good player on £110 a week. If we were to look to move anyone on, it would probably be players who aren't even getting in the 11 that are on big money. I think £450 a week for Jordan Cropper was probably a bit of an overspend. Had I known we would have had the ability to bring a Hui back in on less money, I probably wouldn't sign them. But he's still a good player. I mean, he does only want to be a squad player. Fox only wants to be a fringe player, so even though they're earning a little bit more, they're not going to be kicking up a fuss. Only ones who might kick up a fuss are probably Ibrahim and Ben White because they do have higher expectations. Ben White will probably get less games. Ibrahim will probably get a little bit more just with the fact that we do only have two defensive midfielders. He's very likely to come in into games. I think other subs that are probably likely. Kane Felix very likely to come in. We'll probably just shuffle around so it's kind of in order. So those are probably the two, but I think if anyone was to leave, it would probably be a Cropper or a Wyatt or a Kane Felix. But I'm happy with the squad, and I think we'll probably just progress till we get to the first game of the season. So Tom Tweedy has decided to sign for Wrexham for £450 a week. Really no surprise there. But in other good news, we are now into our new season, so we can do our annual coaching course. So we've now started our National B license. It'll take 4 months to complete all the costs covered by Peterborough Sports, which is really good. So that'll obviously go to improving our reputation a little bit, as well as some of our manager attributes. So once we get that in the bank, we'll be a little bit of a better manager as well. So we are at the start of the season for the Leamington game, which will kickstart our National League North season. But we do have two more transfers to talk about. We managed to use our affiliate at Peterborough to bring in two loans on £0 a week. We are not contributing anything to their wages because we do have that affiliate at Peterborough, which is really good. The first one is 18-year-old pressing forward Gabriel Overton. He looks really good, and I'm a little bit worried that he's not going to be happy playing second fiddle to Caleb Chukwuemeka. He is a squad player. He is very much a one position man as well, where Caleb Chukwuemeka could play on the right. Well, I'm not sure if he could. He is more of a big striker. But I think he'll be really good. I mean, look at some of these physicals. If he was our only striker for the season, I would still be happy with that. The other one is Harry Titchmarsh. He joins us as a defensive midfielder. He's probably someone that will have to fight to get in. I'm very happy with Shalna and Knight and Ibrahim. I might even think of more Ibrahim as more of an attacking midfielder this season just to try and fit Titchmarsh in. But he is someone that could definitely come into the squad. I'm actually wondering, does he start? Because I think he looks a lot better than Ben Shalna. Ben Shalna is only a breakthrough prospect, so I'm not sure he'll be too upset at not playing. No, Ben Shalna is one of our own. But I guess at this level, everyone's kind of only on a 1 year deal anyway. They're both shown as leading National League North, so I don't think one's particularly much better than the other. I just think his technicals are a lot better than Shalna. I think we'll stick with Shalna and see how we go, but it very much could be a case that Titchmarsh comes in. Though he's not really a ball winning midfielder as much. Actually, marking and tackling. You know what? He's probably better. I think we're going to put him in. I think he's better. Um, I think I know Ibrahim shows us 3 stars, but he is not a ball winning midfielder. I mean, he's got 6 marking, 7 tackling, 9 work rate. Compare that to Titchmarsh, who doesn't show as good. He's got 10 for work rate on the roll. Where is that roll? Ball winning defensive, 9 for marking, 9 for tackling, 10 work rate, and more of an engine. He's not the strongest or the biggest. That maybe doesn't work in his favour. Now I'm thinking about it. How big Shalna? Shalna's a little bit bigger, and he does actually work a little bit harder. Shalna, you've just got yourself back in the squad. I think you can tell this is a position I am not entirely certain on. Joe Knight is definitely going to be starting in midfield. But Overton will very much have to fight to get his place in over Chukwuemeka. But Chukwuemeka was incredible, 26 and 39 last year. That is absolutely someone we Overton obviously only on the 1 year deal. His contract isn't even out at the end of the year, so it wouldn't be a case of playing him and then trying to get him on a free contract at the end. Very much be a case of we'll just sort of make good for Peterborough. Whether he'll ever reach that level, I'm not sure. He is a League One potential player, so potentially I guess that is Peterborough's level. But all that means that we probably don't need everyone that's not getting in the squad. So I think this is the starting 11. Cowler in goal, back four, Hui, Kobe Small, Connor Johnson, Brendan Horton. So that's two debuts in the back line and one debut in goal. Shalna and Knight, debut for Knight. Hines, McCammon, Mooney, and Chukwemeka, all from last season. Then on the bench, we'd have Fox as cover at centre backs, Wyatt and Cropper at cover at full back. Ibrahim, who can cover as a defensive midfielder or an attacking midfielder, and Overton, who can be the striker. What I am noticing, what I am now thinking, this does leave us a little bit light in terms of wingers. I think we can, of course, play people like McCammon out wide. I guess the good news is if you get an injury to a winger, we could always put McCammon out wide or Chukwemeka out wide and bring on Overton fill in rather than bringing in a winger. But what that does mean is that a few of these players might not be needed. Obviously, Robertson's our backup keeper, so he's fine. Tishmarsh is on loan. Lonsdale, he's only a breakthrough prospect. He's not bothered if he's not playing. But Kane Felix is, well, I think he was an important player before that. He is probably surplus to requirements now. We've had an offer. Well, we transfer listed him. We got an offer from Farnborough. Obviously, not going to pay anything, but at £375 to not even sit on the bench. I think he was really good last year. I mean, I guess he was only kind of good, 14 and 41. I think we've got better options. I think we can probably let him go, and then do need to bring someone in for injury. Would obviously be Chukwemeka goes out wide, or McCammon goes out wide, and Ibrahim comes in, or even bring Lonsdale in because he can definitely play. I mean, he wasn't great last year either, but I think as just cover, that does it. That does fine. But looking at the season preview, we are very much one of the favourites to go up now. We are certainly sitting third in the season preview, just behind Scunthorpe and South Shields. The media think this is our best 11, which is pretty much, I think, besides Titchmarsh in Shalna, which is again something that might change as we progress, is very much the now I want to put him in just because the media think he should. We'll stick with Shalna. He's ours. He is ours. He's got League Two potential. I mean, I think all of these are very good for National League North level. Goalkeeper is a lead in National League North. Right back, lead in National League North. Kobe Small, a decent National League player. Johnson, lead in National League North. Horton's got to be a good National League player. He's probably one of the best players in definitely. Shalna, lead in National League North. Knight is a National League quality player, another one of probably the better players in the teams. Hines, lead in National League North. McCammon, lead in National League North. I mean, this is a good squad we've assembled. Lead in National League North for Mooney. Chukwemeka is a National League striker, a lead in National League striker. He's definitely the best player in the side. It's definitely reflected in it. Pretty lofty value for this level. So I'm very happy. I think we've got some really good cover. The only thing I can imagine is a couple of the fullbacks maybe not being happy they're not playing enough. I can definitely see Wyatt kicking up a fuss, not be regular starter. Horton's a much better player. We do obviously have a couple of breakthrough prospects and just sort of regular starters in the squad. Obviously, Huey's just a squad player as well. So I don't think Cropper will kick up too much of a fuss, but he does have 18 long throws. Maybe we should be getting him in the side and using that. I don't know. I guess Cropper could play on the right if we were really stuck. Wyatt can't really go that high up. What about Horton? Okay, Horton could go that high up, and he has got the physicals and the technicals to do it as well. Checking, he is actually a defender, isn't he? I guess not the best defender, definitely more of an attacking fullback, but that should be okay for us because Hui was quite an attacking fullback as well, and he was last year. So overall, I think we're in a really good place, and I think for the next episode we'll come back for our first two games of the season, away to Leamington, who are newly promoted, and at home to Bishop Stortford. These have got to be two teams down the pre, haven't they? So yeah, Leamington bottom four, Bishop Stortford like 15. So we should definitely be beating both of them. So that'll be next episode. I think because obviously we did National League North last year, we didn't get promoted. I think I will probably play quite a few games in between. We won't probably try not to do too many episodes this season, just because we are in the same division. And I mean, fingers crossed, it should be a bit of a cakewalk. I'm going for a league title run, but at worst, I think we should be getting pretty high in the playoffs. Second or third would be absolute bare minimum. Skip that first game in the playoffs and just have to play the two. But honestly, I think we should be trying to win the league, and I think we should be trying to go as unbeaten as long as we can. I mean, if you look at that first month, Those are all very winnable games. It's not really till the second month we've got the likes of South Shields and Scunthorpe where we start to get somewhat difficult. I think a cup run would be really good. Get the finances going. If we could get to the first round proper this year, that would definitely be a step forward. I think that is what the board want. Second qualifying round. Yeah, reach first round. Sorry, reach first round. So we should be trying to qualify for that properly. But yeah, but all that'll be in the next episode, and in the next few videos, we will be doing our second season here at Peterborough Sports in North to Prem. Hope you enjoyed this transfer special. As you can appreciate, it is a little bit of a longer one because you are doing all of the season wrap up and all the transfers and all the new season stuff. But hopefully you enjoyed this little longer episode, and I'll see you all for the next one very soon.